Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 21. The ranking is released, The Elf Girl. After Lu Chengqing left that area, he didn't stop exploring and continued to search in the dungeon. Other candidates are trying to find the strange beast. He looks for other candidates. Very reasonable. The copy of this college entrance examination is equivalent in size to those super large public copies, among the base of 30,000 candidates. Finding other candidates is not too difficult. After Lu Chengqing met more than a dozen candidates one after another, his own points also broke through to a total of 3,000 points. This score, it is already quite good. The vocational colleges in the entire Longguo are basically at the level of random selection. As for the looting of points, the methods used by Lu Chengqing were not bad, and it was only 3 hours before the assessment. Reserve the qualifications for those candidates. To be able to earn points in a steady flow of points, karma's leaks, don't mention how rich the experience of the 2 lives is. I don't know how much the leaderboard is. Lu Chengqing casually took care of the pheasant, which was about the size of a lamb, black and white, and combed in the middle. Call out the total score list of the college entrance examination. First place, Zhou Shihao points, 5,377. Second place, Zhao Chen points, 4,843. No. 10. Song Xiu points, 4,513. 11th place, Lin Qianchen points, 4,396. No. 35. Lu Chengqing points, 3,125. Lin Qianchen, this idiot, actually made it to the 11th place, and Zhang Wanqing, unexpectedly ranked in the top 50. Lu Chengqing glanced at the ranking slightly, and was not particularly surprised at the 35th ranking, the points he gained from hunting the beasts. At most, it is in the early 300s. All the others are provided by the candidates, and the amount of points depends entirely on the hard work of other people. On the contrary, it was Zhang Wanqing, hovering in the position of more than 50, which Lu Chengqing somewhat did not expect. Ice mage profession. It's not considered a rare profession, and it's considered a relatively strong level among ordinary combat professions, given the strength of the 2 of them. Even if you don't intervene, you can still achieve good results. Let's solve the problem of lunch first. After Lu Chengqing closed the points leaderboard, he immediately put the target on the pheasant lying not far away. There is no food provided for the exam. All the sources of food for these 3 days are these strange beasts, those giant apes and giant pythons. He is really not interested. On the contrary, this chicken brother has become the best source of food. After removing the black and white feathers on his body with the rock-breaking blade, he directly peeled the skin to save a lot of process. Many candidates would not choose to start a fire and cook in the dungeon. The fire and smoke would attract other competitors. But fishing is extra. Lu Chengqing quickly set up the fire, took out the ingredients prepared in advance before the exam, and started simple cooking. I haven't had time to replenish my strength. Call out. Accompanied by the ear-piercing sound of piercing the air, a cold arrow shot towards the dense tree canopy not far behind. Extremely fast. It's just that in the room slaughterhouse that was built in advance, this kind of sniping method behind the back. Not a threat at all. Lu Chengqing didn't even turn around, tapped the scabbard lightly with his finger, and the cold arrow that sneaked in was replaced with the stone not far away. Space exchange. It will not weaken the potential energy of the cold arrow, and the moment it hits the ground, it will produce a powerful explosion. Dirt splashing everywhere. It didn't shoot in the direction of Lu Chengqing, but showed an extremely strange posture, floating in the air. Sneak attack, right. Lu Chengqing tilted his head slightly, and his keen intuition told him that the person who attacked was right now in the canopy on the side. As far as he could see. And, along with the short space ripple, a figure wearing a gray cloak appeared in Lu Chengqing's line of sight. Holding a longbow, he squatted halfway on the treetop. Not an oriental face. The long golden hair is extremely conspicuous, and what surprised Lu Chengqing was the slender ears like a 2-dimensional elf. Lu Chengqing's face was slightly puzzled. Although it was said that this was an extraordinary world, except for strange beasts, there were existences like elves. Still meet for the first time. While Lu Chengqing was sizing up the elf, the girl squatting on the canopy of the tree also had a dignified expression. Song Xiu is still very familiar with his own strength, awakening and hiding the professional elf shooter, resulting in appearance a bit similar to the sprites of Western fantasy. However, the most important thing is strength. The elf arrows shot are extremely powerful, as well as professional talent. Hidden. Let her basically guarantee an absolute advantage when facing other candidates, and the charged shot just now. She didn't even see it clearly. The boy who was roasting the chicken did not know how to dodge it, and even found his position directly. Song Xiu is not stupid. Based on these 2 points, and the other parties daring to fish in the dungeon, it can be judged. Ideas are tricky. Call out. Without the slightest hesitation, Song Xiu fully drew the bowstring again, shot 2 arrows in a row, and decided to leave. Only, she hadn't realized that the arrow she shot just now became an opportunity to throw herself into a trap. Arrows in it. One directly pierced through the tree trunk not far from Lu Chengqing, while the other arrow was only 5 meters away from him. Lu Chengqing directly activated the power of Room Slaughterhouse, making this arrow and Song Xiu who was about to run away. Direct position exchange. ... Song Xiu didn't even react. With a strong sense of weightlessness, she was about to evacuate. It was actually sent directly to Lu Chengqing. The arrow was 2 meters above the ground, and she didn't know what happened, let alone landed safely. The mind goes blank and stops thinking. He landed freely towards the ground in a daze, and the moment his butt flap, which was already somewhat barren, touched the ground. Severe pain. Let Song Xiu's peach blossom eyes squeeze out several tears, looking at the other party's indifferent appearance, her face pales. ... Lu Chengqing had a calm expression on his face. He just sat cross-legged on the ground and didn't do anything. He just tapped the scabbard lightly. He glanced at the elf girl, and judged her identity from the school uniform under the gray cloak. Also students. This elf face should be a hidden profession, a change caused by characteristics, and the comprehensive strength is among the candidates encountered. Very strong. It's a fat sheep. With an indifferent smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he asked, "It's already here, so it's not appropriate to just leave, right?" Chapter 22. Lu Chengqing looked at the elf girl in front of him with great interest, and he could basically tell that it was a hidden profession. Strength. Among the students I met by chance, it can be said that I met the strongest, if he hadn't had the idea of fishing. Open the special space of Room Slaughterhouse in advance, and if you are caught off guard and shoot an arrow, it is really hard to escape. But the opponent is obviously a long-distance output profession, and if it falls into his hands, he has no chance to resist. What is it called? With a calm smile on Lu Chengqing's face, just tapping the scabbard lightly with her fingers gave her a strong sense of oppression. ... Song Xiu's exquisite facial features couldn't be as calm as before. The severe pain made her frown, and even tears flowed out. Pain. It hurts so much. The most important thing is that she still doesn't know what method this boy with a little evil spirit is using. He suddenly grabbed himself over. As for the mind of resistance, Song Xiu is not stupid, she is a long-distance exporter herself, and she didn't even figure out the other party's methods. Then live here and cook, fishing. Without the strength to back it up, how could it be possible to do this? I was the only one who was stupid, thinking that I would encounter walking points. With just such a sheathed long knife, if he still had the idea of running away, Lu Chengqing would probably chop it off without hesitation. She was sobbing and her nose didn't feel any relief from the pain. She was embarrassed to rub it, so she said weakly, "Song Xiu. He's really a student." Lu Chengqing nodded slightly, not unexpectedly, but the disappointment in the depths of his eyes was not concealed. Not elves. That doesn't make much sense. What? Song Xiu's originally painful face, when he saw Lu Chengqing's disappointed eyes, he instantly understood the meaning. The fair cheeks soon became rosy. She explained a little bluntly, "Is there any way I can do it?" After changing to a professional elf shooter, it is affected by the characteristics of the profession. Do you think I want to take on the appearance of this elf? Lu Chengqing nodded slightly. The elf shooter in Western fantasy is still a golden-haired girl, in a world where games and reality overlap. Very reasonable. He cast his eyes on the chicken brother on the grill, sprinkled the final seasoning, and soon a scent spread out. Okay, Lu Chengqing made a few simple cuts, handed one of the chicken legs to Song Shiu, with a calm smile on his face, and asked, "Have some?" Song Shiu's delicate face was about to refuse after seeing the chicken leg Lu Chengqing handed over. But the stomach rumbled very disappointingly. I don't know if it's a psychological effect, but the chicken legs baked by Lu Chengqing seemed to smell really good. But Song Shiu still had a straight face, and while taking the chicken leg, he still said stubbornly, "Even so, I will forgive you. Even if it's the next time I meet you, I'll still make a move, at most I won't grab your points." Lu Chengqing twitched the corners of her mouth lightly. She was a blonde girl with pretty looks, and she didn't even want to complain about her personality. Could it be, she doesn't know, has the tsundere style been withdrawn from the market now? It's a pity that what Song Shiu met was herself, not the male protagonist Asahi in those two-dimensional animations. Willing to eat, then it will be easy to handle. With the same smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he shook his head and said, "What's the matter, isn't the college entrance examination all about competition?" Song Shiu's pretty face was full of surprises. She raised her head to look at Lu Chengqing, and saw that handsome side face. This guy is not as annoying as he imagined. After all, he was the one who sneaked up on him first. Even if he fell down just now, it doesn't matter. You deserve it. After she filled her stomach, she staggered to her feet, her face softened a lot, and her tone was still proud. "The taste is not bad. This time, thank you first. With your strength, you should be able to get a high score in the exam, as long as you don't get robbed by those people in front of you. Giving points to them is better than giving them to me." After hearing what Song Shiu said, Lu Chengqing had a strange expression on his face, such a frankly arrogant concentration. "Are they all full? Thank me for what?" Song Shiu frowned, pointing at the roast chicken that had been mostly disposed of, as that exquisite face was a little unclear. The meaning is self-evident. Only, the direction of the next development caught her a little off guard. Lu Chengqing got up and patted the dust on his buttocks. He still had that iconic smile on his face. Even the broken rock blade, which had not been unsheathed from the beginning to the end, was directly held by Lu Chengqing in his hand. Pointing to the pile of chicken bones, he said with a smile, "When did I say, this is for you to eat for free? If the other party is a cuter girl, so I will charge less points. Since it is a tsundere type, it is completely different. This chicken brother and I are good friends. You actually ate my good friend and didn't give out the points. It's a bit too much." Song Shiu's eyes were wide open. Her pretty face was full of disbelief. Despite her character, she was not stupid. When I saw the playful smile on Lu Chengqing's face, I instantly realized that I was blackmailed by him. And just the chicken leg and some skewers, he was about to snatch all his points away. The expression on Song Shiu's face couldn't be any longer. Are you trying to renege on your debt? The smile on Lu Chengqing's face was still there, and the broken rock blade was out of its sheath in his hand. If the other party didn't want to give points, I can only come by myself. Can't I give it to you? Song Shiu's delicate fair face was full of grievances. She clenched her silver teeth when she saw Lu Chengqing's indifferent smile. The embarrassment in his eyes almost burst out. Hateful. This guy is so gentle. He could have grabbed it directly, but he still treats himself to lunch. Welcome to visit next time. Lu Chengqing glanced at the points that had soared to 7,600 and nodded slightly. He deserved to be the 10th candidate on the list. It's the atmosphere. As for the idea of staying after filling his stomach, he glanced at Song Shiu and added, "If you want to eat this grilled chicken, just finish it, it's my treat for you." Song Shiu's face was dark, and he almost didn't break the defense directly. Looking at Lu Chengqing, who wanted to leave, he had no intention of making a move. Root cause. Or she can't beat this guy. She gritted her teeth, as if to engrave Lu Chengqing's appearance in her mind, and asked, "Tell me, what's your name?" Lu Chengqing stretched his waist, turned and left with the broken rock blade on his shoulders, and said in a bright tone, "Zhongcheng No. 1 Middle School. Wang Wei. Chapter 23. Wang Wei. Song Shiu gritted her silver teeth, looked at Lu Chengqing's leaving back, clenched her fists tightly, and her eyes were quite complicated. Must get back on the field. Then use the same method to get back all the points that Wang Wei stole from him. After Lu Chengqing left the current area, he did not continue to expand the special space of room slaughterhouse. There are still 2.5 days left for the exam. Save your physical strength as much as possible, and only by encountering those hidden professionals on the leaderboard can you have the best fighting state. When the points came to just over 7,600, his ranking had dropped from number 35 directly to number 3. First place, Zhou Shihao points, 9,377. Second place, Zhao Chen points, 8,843. Third place, Lu Chengqing points, 7,638. It's okay, as long as you visit everyone on the leaderboard, it's basically enough points for follow-up. Lu Chengqing glanced at the final ranking, and was not particularly surprised. With a score close to 8,000, if he couldn't make it to the top 3. That would be hell. He didn't stay too long, but wandered around in the secret area, as long as there was a fight, or he encountered a single candidate. Basically, it was unavoidable to be tortured by Lu Chengqing. But, surprisingly, he didn't become the target of everyone's shouting, compared to other people on the leaderboard. When encountering candidates, they are basically eliminated. Although Lu Chengqing has many behaviors of the sixth child, he did not do it absolutely. If he was injured during the match, he would take the initiative to help with treatment. Although the points are gone. But there is still the qualification to continue to take the college entrance examination. This is something that many candidates like to hear, and the strength is not as good as the other party. It would be nice to continue to take the college entrance examination. This classmate, although it is very unkind of you to steal my points, I still have to thank you for not depriving me of the qualification for the exam. He's so gentle, I just cried to death. After Lu Chengqing plundered the candidates who were in the melee, he ensured that the leaks would thrive and healed them. After finishing this operation, Lu Chengqing, who is used to doing good deeds without leaving his name, left the current area directly. And the 3 candidates who were recovered by Lu Chengqing in the treatment room looked at the 0 points and did not continue to fight. No more points. And hit a hammer. After a new round of cutting leaks, Lu Chengqing's points have increased a lot again, and the standings ranking has not changed much. Instead, it was Lin Qianshen's ranking. From the 11th place directly to the ranks of the top 5, it can be seen that the experience in the afternoon has gained a lot. The first day of the college entrance examination. The end is coming soon, and during the period of the college entrance examination, you can't leave the secret place, and the school will provide accommodation tents. Other than that, there is no other item support. This is the end. Lu Chengqing glanced at the surrounding environment. The canopy itself is extremely dense, and the visibility during the day is a bit poor. Let alone at night. After dispelling the idea of continuing to cut leaks, Lu Chengqing found a high place and prepared to rest for a while at night. The next day, Lu Chengqing's plan has not changed much. Basically he is wandering in the twisted forest, looking for prey. Soon, he was attracted by the battle traces not far ahead, but when he saw the familiar figure, the expression on his face was somewhat strange. Lin Qianshen leaned back against the tree trunk. Her pretty face was full of dignity, and she held the professional specific spirit sword tightly in her hand. He pursed his full red lips. Without any slack, the boy not far in front was the main reason why she was in a hard fight. Number 1 in the standings. Zhou Shihao. Just after waking up and hunting a few strange beasts, Lin Qianshen met Zhou Shihao and thought she could plunder some points. But what she didn't expect was that the opponent's strength was so strong, and he had awakened a hidden profession. Dragon Rider. The strength is absolutely top-notch, not to mention the strong melee combat ability, and the young dragon whose strength is close to the silver rank. Tough. Lin Qianshen paused for a moment, and after adjusting her state, she immediately attacked and killed Zhou Shihao. If you want to defeat your opponent, you have no chance at all to fight against the young dragon who is close to the strength of a silver-ranked beast. As long as you can get close to Zhou Shihao, this is her only chance. After finally ranking close to Lu Chengqing, Lin Qianshen doesn't want to give up. Why are you doing this? Zhou Shihao frowned, and held the shield made of hard material and cost a lot of money in front of him. Not only that, also carrying the same expensive knight sword, the young dragon also moved towards him, guarding him. What he didn't expect was that this girl looked so cute. The strength will be so strong. It was extremely difficult to completely defeat him, but he had to get the points on Lin Qianchen. Zhao Chen, who was in second place, was chasing after him for points, and Lu Chengqing suddenly parachuted out, and he didn't even know his occupation. This put pressure on Zhou Shihao instantly. Although Lin Qianchen was also ranked 5th, he defeated her. Still have confidence. My suggestion is to take a step back. You give me the points, and I won't eliminate you. Keep dragging on. Do you really have a chance? Only. Lin Qianchen did not give an answer, or she was already mentally prepared when she made the move. Holding the spirit sword in both hands, she slashed towards Zhou Shihao's shoulder, so fast that it caused a piercing sound. Zhou Shihao's fighting skills are also not bad. While resisting the attack with his shield, he decisively crushed the magic props with his other hand. Lin Qianchen, who moved backwards and moved away, instantly condensed into a beam of lightning, trying to pierce through her abdomen. And the Green Forest young dragon also showed a front and back attack, trying to cut off the retreat. And completely eliminate Lin Qianchen. I lost. Lu Chengqing frowned slightly, and the room slaughterhouse, which had been poised for a long time in the palm of his hand, instantly enveloped everyone in it. Still in a familiar way. The figure of Lin Qianchen, who was undoubtedly defeated, suddenly disappeared, and a small piece of dead branch directly took her place, and was hit by the lightning. Evaporate directly. Lin Qianchen grabbed Lu Chengqing's clothes. Seeing the familiar face, she still had a dignified pretty face. Instantly filled with surprises. What she didn't expect was that Lu Chengqing was like a knight when she was about to fall into danger. Save yourself again. Student Lu, why are you here? This person's strength is very strong. He is the number 1 in the ranking list, Zhou Shihao, Dragon Knight. Lu Chengqing nodded slightly, but turned his gaze to Zhou Shihao, who was not far away, with a playful look on his face. A very strong competitor, the candidate who broke through 10,000 points in the college entrance examination score list this time, for the next plan. How much is some influence? Adhering to the premise of fairness and democracy, Lu Chengqing gave the other party the right to choose and asked with a smile. How about taking a few more steps back, giving me the points, and then withdrawing from the college entrance examination? Chapter 24. After hearing Lu Chengqing's words and Lin Qianchen's address to him, Zhou Shihao's face was quite serious. Just don't be stupid. You can guess the identity of the man in front of you, Lu Chengqing, who is ranked 3rd in the standings, and the gap between the top rankings. It was extremely small. It would take a lot of effort for him to defeat Lin Qianchen, let alone the higher ranked Lu Chengqing. The most important, or what is the other party's occupation? If Lu Chengqing hadn't intervened suddenly just now, with that lightning strike spell, Lin Qianchen could have been completely eliminated. But the only possibility for Lin Qianchen's sudden disappearance was that Lu Chengqing made a move just now. Such a weird method. Even he has never seen it before. It must be a hidden profession, and it is also an extremely powerful hidden profession. Zhou Shihao's eyes fell on Lu Chengqing, and he said vigilantly, "Student Lu, join hands in the college entrance examination." It's against the rules. I know. Lu Chengqing still had a smile on his face, and put down Lin Qianchen's soft and tender body, which was originally standing on the canopy of the tree. Disappeared in an instant. When it reappeared, it had already appeared on the flat ground not far from Zhou Shihao, and the broken rock blade was unsheathed instantly. He held it with one hand, and continued to add, "Why do you think that to deal with you, you need help?" Zhou Shihao felt as if he was facing an enemy in an instant, and glanced at Lin Qianchen, who was sitting on a branch of a tree with her legs dangling with a smile on her face. There is no intention of making a move. The only possibility is that Lu Chengqing's strength far surpasses Lin Qianchen's, which is why she looks so confident. When fighting, don't be distracted. Lu Chengqing murmured softly, and once again used the power of room slaughterhouse. His figure disappeared like a ghost. There was no time for Zhou Shihao to react. After the exchange of space, the figure of the whole person had already come in front of him, without even holding a knife in both hands. Just chopping with one hand. Boom! Zhou Shihao instinctively used his shield to resist, and accompanied by the ear-piercing sound of collision, there was that unstoppable huge force. His arm was in pain, and the shield, which cost nearly 10 million to build, had an extremely deep wound. Only, when Zhou Shihao felt the pressure on his arm disappear, he was accompanied by abdominal pain, even though he was wearing armor. It still flew upside down for more than 10 meters. The moment he hit the tree, he felt the tumbling sensation of his internal organs. It wasn't fatal, but he was immediately stunned. It seems, Lu's strength has become stronger again. Lin Qianqun, who was sitting on the tree trunk, looked at the almost crushing battle with a slightly absent-minded expression on her cute face. And she has never seen such a killing intent appear on Lu Chengqing's body, even the silver-ranked dungeon boss. Nothing. Lin Qianqun, who had read too many romance novels, thought of this. A blush soon appeared on her fair cheeks. If Lin Qianqun is eliminated, do you know how heartbroken I will be and how much I will lose? Lu Chengqing still had a calm smile on his face, but in the depths of that smile, there was a chill that could freeze the air. If it was a normal battle and Lin Qianqun lost to Zhou Shihao, he would have nothing to say. But what Lu Chengqing didn't expect was, Zhou Shihao actually used a special spell container to accumulate items with lightning spells in order to end the battle quickly. College entrance examination. Everyone has only one chance, and finally there are loopholes in the rules, and they can go to the official and vocational colleges to grab the wool. One of Lin Qianqun and Zhang Wanqing was eliminated, which was a huge loss for Lu Chengqing. Plus Zhou Shihao's scoring ability. It can barely be regarded as an unstable factor. Originally, he was thinking of a steady flow of water, but now this situation. Lu Chengqing shook his head lightly. You don't know, so please ask your classmates to leave the college entrance examination room for a while. Shish. Zhou Shihao leaned back against the tree trunk, his eyes were bloodshot, he decisively played the bone flute hanging around his neck, and there was a piercing sound. The green forest young dragon in the back sprinted towards Lu Chengqing's back as if it had squeezed out all its strength. Lu Chengqing tilted his head slightly, the smile on his face was playful, and he raised his left hand slightly, just a small movement of fingers. Original. The young forest dragon rushing towards him was instantly covered by a light blue translucent barrier. Is this what you rely on? Very weak. Lu Chengqing shook his head lightly, and glanced at Zhou Shihao, whose face was ashen. The sharp knife pierced the chest. His figure also disappeared, not because of Lu Chengqing's use of skills, but because of Zhou Zihao, a dungeon judge candidate. Has fallen into the crisis of death, completely lost the qualification to continue the college entrance examination. And Lu Chengqing's original 7,000 points skyrocketed again, firmly sitting at the first place in the standings. Number 1 in the standings, Hidden Professional Dragon Knight. I feel a little weak. After solving the hidden dangers of the college entrance examination plan, the smile on Lu Chengqing's face is much easier, as long as he finds Zhang Wanqing. After pulling the points to a height that can surpass others, the layout he needs for this college entrance examination is complete. Lin Qianqun looked at Lu Chengqing's swiftness, and after finishing Zhou Shihao, her face was full of disbelief. In the copy of Fireland Island, she also felt that she had a general understanding of Lu's strength, but now it seems that she was at that time. Facing the silver-ranked dungeon boss, Lu Chengqing didn't look like he was going all out at all, it was outrageous. Lin Qianqun consciously came to his side, saw the faint smile on Lu Chengqing's face, and subconsciously hugged the spirit sword tightly in her arms. Outline the beautiful figure, she asked in a weak voice. Student Lu, has anyone ever told you that your smile looks like a villain now? Lu Chengqing twitched the corner of his mouth, wondering if this idiot could speak, and just raised his hand to give Lin Qianqun a chestnut. When she saw that she had opened the points panel and was about to transfer the points to herself, she still couldn't bear to knock on it. Stupid enough. What if Lin Qianqun was really knocked into a fool? Lu Chengqing rubbed her head, and asked with a bit of bewitchment even in the smile on his face. Student Qianqun, I want to ask you, are you interested in becoming the number 1 student in the Jiangnan Provincial College Entrance Examination this year? Chapter 25. Number 1 in the College Entrance Examination. After hearing these words, Lin Qianqin was stunned for a while before she could react, but she still nodded subconsciously. If there is no Lu Chengqing in this year's college entrance examination, no matter what, she will fight for the top spot in the Jiangnan Province College Entrance Examination this year. For today, Lin Qianqin has put in no less effort than others, but this is where the characteristics of the hidden profession lie. Spirit Sword Master. If you want to improve your strength, you have to spend money. To increase the level of the Spirit Sword, resources are extremely important. Only, in terms of resources, even if she has the Lin family behind her, the profession of Spirit Sword Master is not favored by them. Get less resources. If he can become the champion of this year's college entrance examination, it can be regarded as a proof of his potential, not just Zhang Cheng's official. Even the institutions chosen by vocational universities will give rich rewards for her to choose to study. Maybe, those people in the family, my sister, may all have a different opinion of me, right? But now, in front of Lin Qianqin was an insurmountable mountain, including Zhou Shihao, who was temporarily number 1 on the ranking list. It is extremely difficult for her to defeat the opponent. Not to mention Lu Chengqing, whose strength completely crushes Zhou Shihao, even if he wants to become the number 1 in the college entrance examination so much. Lin Qianqin knew very well that this was absolutely impossible. As for what student Lu said just now, simple to simple, she is not stupid, so she can naturally understand the meaning of these words. Could it be that student Lu wants to win the champion? Give it to yourself. Thinking of this, Lin Qianqin quickly shook her head, her immature face was full of seriousness, and said softly, Student Lu, your strength and talent are far superior to mine. If you win the first place in the college entrance examination this year, the road ahead will be much easier. Lu Chengqing was not particularly surprised by Lin Qianqin's answer. If it was true, he would agree directly. You have to think about it yourself. The smile on his face didn't change much, but he continued to ask, if I can let you, there is Zhang Wanqing. How about the 3 of us becoming the number 1 in the college entrance examination? Lin Qianqin's slender brows were slightly frowned, her delicate face was full of doubts, and her CPU was a bit overclocked. I didn't understand at all what Lu Chengqing's words meant. Because each province has only 1 top scorer in the college entrance examination every year, let alone 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination at the same time. Haven't even seen 2 of them. With the same smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he handed over the right to choose to Lin Qianqin. Of course, I definitely have conditions. How to do it, when you find Zhang Wanqing. I will explain it to you. Seeing Lu Chengqing's determined face, Lin Qianqin felt a little shaken in her heart, and asked in a low voice, is it against the law? Lu Chengqing shook his head lightly. It can only be said that the loopholes in the rules are exploited, and there is no clear regulation. Can't there be several champions in the college entrance examination at the same time? No. Then prove it works. Okay, then I'll go find Wanqing. Lin Qianqin was a little hesitant, but she still agreed, mainly because Lu Chengqing's words were extremely deceptive. Plus it's not illegal. If he can really become the number 1 student in the Jiangnan Provincial College Entrance Examination this year, and it won't cause him any trouble. No one will miss this opportunity, right? Tomorrow morning, I will wait for the 2 of you to come over in the passageway leaving the copy of the college entrance examination. Lu Chengqing looked at the back of that naive girl leaving. Now that Lin Qianqin has been dealt with, the remaining Zhang Wanqing is left. It's so much easier. After defeating Zhou Shihao, he now has just over 17,000 points in his hands, and he is about to break through 10,000 candidates in the rankings. Except for Lin Qianqin, there are 3 more. As long as you can meet him, you will definitely not be polite. You can only control the average score of other people below 5,000. Only in this way can the college entrance examination plan be carried out in the most stable manner. As for the next step, wandering in the Twisted Forest dungeon, encounter those candidates with more points. In a certain valley deep in the Twisted Forest, Zhao Chen, the candidate who is currently ranked 2nd in points, killed the last alien beast. Finally, He breathed a sigh of relief and sat slumped on the ground. In the valley behind, there were more than 50 dead beasts alone. The alien beasts in the college entrance examination dungeon are all graded, and the stronger the alien beast, the more points they will get. In this valley, there are basically beasts above level 15, and each kill can get about 60 points. After the whole morning's fierce battle, Zhao Chen finally solved it completely, and the points he got were all in the early 3000s. Thinking of surpassing Zhou Shihao, the smile in his heart could no longer be restrained from overflowing on his face. Now, you can finally surpass that guy Zhou Shihao, right? Zhao Chen murmured softly, and the moment he opened the points leaderboard, his whole mind was buzzing. He froze in place for an instant. When he was clearing the dungeon in the morning, he also took a look at the leaderboard. Zhou Shihao, who was far away from number 1. There is only a difference of less than 1500 points. But only a few hours later, Zhou Shihao's name could not be found at all, and he is now number 1 in the standings. It was Lu Chengqing who hovered in the 3rd and 4th places at the beginning, with only 7,600 points, and his final points. There are actually 17,000 points. Zhao Chen frowned. As long as he was not stupid, he could guess that Zhou Shihao's points were taken away by Lu Chengqing. Nowadays, his ranking has not changed at all. He is still the second child in Wanyan, with 12,000 points, and there is still a gap of 5,000 points from Lu Chengqing. When Zhao Chen saw this, his mentality was vaguely unstable. He originally thought that he could surpass Zhou Shihao to become the number 1. Unexpectedly, Zhou Shihao was directly eliminated by the dungeon, replaced by Lu Chengqing, who is stronger and has no information at all. FK. Where did this Lu Chengqing become a pervert? Zhao Chen couldn't hold back his swearing. Regarding Zhou Shihao's strength, he can be said to be the one who knows best. He even got a rough idea of the occupation and level, and he never even thought of going head-to-head with the opponent. But Zhou Shihao, whom Zhao Chen regards as his competitor for the top scorer in the college entrance examination, was actually eliminated by the little-known Lu Chengqing. This is not perverted, what is it? Only, when Zhao Chen finished complaining about Lu Chengqing, he didn't realize that there was a figure sitting on a rock in the open space high in the valley. With a ruffian face in Junyi, he wore that iconic smile. With a little helplessness in Lu Chengqing's tone, he asked, "This classmate. I have no grievances or enmities with you. Why do you slander me as a pervert?" Zhao Chen, please like and subscribe.